Trans rights are human rights. If that is a statement that you don't agree with, this channel is not for you. I'm here to support all LGBT people, and I'm somebody who fully believes in equity. Not equality, equity, because something can be equal but not justice or fair. Anyhow, before we get into that, let's have a little look at this spread and the week I am memory planning, etc. So I am memory planning the week of the 1st of December 2025 in my A5 wide Tilly Journals inserts. That's my own shop, using this advent kit from Plannerface. I think it was called Christmas Magic off the top of my head, but I can't quite remember, and it was a advent kit. It is now since been released in the shop, I believe. In terms of foil, I'm using a mistletoe foil bundle in matte bronze from from Caress Press, let's get that right, as well as some terrazzo underlays in silver from Scribble Prints Co. What I didn't say when I was talking about the kit is I do PR for Plannerface, so I get a discount for promoting her stickers. However, if you've been here for any length of time, that is because I love her stickers and I love her shop, and that is why I PR for her, not because I get free things. The other things I have is I have my stickers pulled out in my Plannerface reusable sticker album, and I also have my scripts that I have made myself ready for the week. And I think that's everything for the base and etc. I am putting my little strip of washi tape at the top, but I didn't do that until after I'd finished filming this video, but I do much prefer how that little strip of washi fills up that little space at the top. As for things that happened this week, it was the first week of December. I was looking forward to Bayla's first Christmas, and we had a friendmas with our neighbours and their baby. I saw my care coordinator. I started some therapy, which was trauma stabilisation. I had a games night. We were all just feeling a bit poorly and not very well. Other than that, it was a pretty standard maternity leave week. Except for one thing, and that's the reason that I have taken a little pause on talking about my goals and things to talk about this super important topic, which is essentially that Girl Guiding decided that they felt they had to exclude trans women from Girl Guiding. This basically has come after the Supreme Court ruling about gender that happened last year. In about April last year, that was heavily funded by J.K. Rowling. This is not somewhere where you can separate the art from the artist. J.K. Rowling is literally funding anti-trans charities, anti-trans movements, and she has said that anybody who supports her works is somebody that she sees as agreeing with her views that trans women are not women and should not be in women-only spaces. That's not okay. This is coming from somebody who absolutely adores Harry Potter. It was like my childhood. We used to travel quite a lot because my dad worked abroad, and it was the only thing we would agree to listen to as a family. It was the Harry Potter audiobooks read by Stephen Fry. They're how I fell asleep for years and years. And like I have so much Harry Potter Lego and memorabilia and things like that. It was a huge part of my life. I still consider myself a Hufflepuff, but none of that at the expense of trans rights and trans lives. I will no longer do anything that gives J.K. Rowling an ounce of money. So, for example, if I want to listen to the audiobooks, the full cast audiobooks, what I would do rather than purchasing them is pirate them. Or if I want to watch this new series, I would pirate it. I would not do anything that considered giving her money. But I don't think I'm even going to do that because it's left such a sour taste in my mouth, especially when basically this TV series is being made because the original cast have spoken out against J.K. Rowling's exclusive rights and hate, and they've said that's not okay. So J.K. Rowling wants to make something new with people that agree with her. Like, that's how gross this is. I just can't with that. And yeah, so whilst Girl Guiding have made this decision, and I do not at all agree with this decision, I hate this decision, and honestly, I'm not sure about my future in Girl Guiding because of it, partially, and at the moment it's just left such a sour taste in my mouth. I don't feel like I can enjoy girl guiding. I have not yet given up, but it is definitely something I'm considering, and whether I want Bayla. I put Bayla on the waiting list like before she was a month old for rainbows. I don't know that I want her to be in a space that doesn't consider trans women women. I just don't think I can do that. And I just don't think that's okay. As I've said, I'm somebody who absolutely loves Harry Potter, and I am removing a lot of the Harry Potter references from at least the downstairs of my house so that if trans friends come over, if, you know, Bayla has friends who are trans that come over, they know that they are safe in our space. They don't see those things and assume that we are a trans exclusionary household. No, we are here for trans rights. And I think at the end of the day, you cannot mention Harry Potter online or anything like that, or J.K. Rowling, without the disclaimer that J.K. Rowling is a horrible human being and we shouldn't be giving her money. But more than that, this is about girl guiding and their decision and how that makes not only me feel, but other people feel. And I'm actually going to read a bit of a blog post that was posted by Gate, Gate is Guiders Against Trans Exclusion. And they have an excellent social media, they have excellent, they've organised protests, they're organising other things, they've got resources to do with girls, but they have reposted a story that Girl Guiding originally posted in 2022, but they have taken it down and they have reshared it. And so I'm just going to read this verbatim for the rest of this video, probably it will take up, just to explain like how wrong it is that we are now excluding these people from Girl Guiding. And yeah, so in terms of my association with Girl Guiding, I haven't really been going to meetings very often in the last term. I partly like that's my been put down to me being back at work, but I also, the leader in charge is my mum, and she knows full well how I feel about this, and that it has just put a sour taste in my mouth, and I'm not sure about my future with Girl Guiding. I am planning on going on a guide camp this summer, and if like that interaction with the girls doesn't, you know, change my mind, I think I won't be returning to Girl Guiding in 2027, certainly. But anyway, one family tells us their story and what it means to be included in Girl Guiding. We want every member of Girl Guiding to feel like they belong. I'm going to repeat again, this was posted on Girl Guiding's website in 2022. It has since been taken down. It's why we have an equality and diversity policy, training for volunteers on how to include everyone, and why we love to share stories from all our members on what it means to feel included. We hope it helps you as a volunteer feel empowered and to welcome everyone to our organisation. We're sharing the true story of Rainbow, all names have been changed, a girl who joined our youngest section and knew Girl Guiding was the space for her. Meet Rainbow. My husband and I are lucky enough to be parents of a 7-year-old girl, Rainbow, says Jane. She loves Lego, climbing trees, reading, playing with her friends, and not listening to us when we ask her to wash her hands before dinner. She might sound very much like your children, and she is the same, except when she was born, we assumed she was a boy. Rainbow is a transgender girl, and Girl Guiding is a proudly trans-inclusive organisation. We have a lot of guidance explaining what that looks like in practice, but it's stories like Rainbow's that best show what our policies and guidance actually mean for trans women and girls. We often meet people who don't understand how we, as parents, could let a boy become a girl, says Jane. Did we want them to be a girl? Was it parental influence? Shouldn't we have just told them to stop? Understandable questions. Perhaps the best way to explain it to you is to walk you through our story. Jane and her husband Mike started noticing that Rainbow identified more with female characters, toys and books when she was 18 months old. Some people suggested we just say no, encourage her to identify with the male characters. But how can you explain that to a young child? To what end? No to playing with the toys that she loved or the characters she loved to pretend to be. It felt cruel to say no, at the least. As parents, Jane and Mike knew they wanted Rainbow to be whoever she wanted to be, but they worried about other people's reaction. I never felt I needed to find a reason why my child couldn't own a doll from the shop, or why a scarf couldn't be used to create long hair, Jane explained. Yet, what I personally found harder was when she begged me to buy a dress. no longer in character, but to wear as herself in public. No one wants their child to be the centre of supermarket gossip or laughed at by others. The first dress, a summer dress covered in butterflies. She was so happy. I used every trick in the book for it to not be worn beyond our home. It isn't practical for scooting, I said, hiding it in the wash basket. Deep down, I was ashamed of my behaviour. Then Mike asked, why does it matter? And of course, it didn't really matter. But I cared how people would perceive our little family. I didn't want to see the looks people gave my child or hear them snigger. But she was happy wearing the dress and beamed with it on. Without it, she talked about nothing else. At least with the dress on, she could get back to being a kid. As she got older, Rainbow had more and more questions. My child had always talked about the differences between boys and girls, but her questions accelerated as she got older, says Jane. One day she said to us in a quiet voice, my real name is Rainbow. Until you're in that position as a parent, you cannot know how you will react. I could have laughed and said, no, it's not. I could have compartmentalised her life. Okay, you can be Rainbow at home, but not at school. We didn't take this route. Instead, we asked, can you tell us a bit more about how you feel? There are some boys who like all the things that society thinks are for girls, but know themselves to be boys. And there are some who feel like they are girls inside. My child explained, it's the second one. At first, it felt alien. We made a few mistakes and wondered if it might change. We talked about pronouns, and Rainbow wanted she, her. So we focused on this at home too. With the changes we had made at home, she was very happy, and the persistent gender questions stopped. But we knew we needed to go beyond our four walls. A lot of Rainbow's journey happened during the COVID-19 lockdowns. When she went back to school after lockdown, she returned as her true gender, female. When Rainbow turned 5, she told her parents she wanted to join Rainbows. All her friends were going, and she wanted to be part of the fun. It was a club that my daughter really wanted to join, but I was fearful of the response of the leaders and other parents, says Jane. I remembered a comment from another parent at the beginning of our daughter's transition, believing that other parents would find her joining difficult. When I contacted Girl Guiding, the leader made it clear that we would be welcome. Knowing that our community had a space that would support us and our child made a difference, especially in the early days when it was all so new. They didn't treat her any differently to the other members of their unit. I was on edge for a few sessions, but the leaders were lovely and made her feel welcome. Rainbow loved being part of our youngest section. She knew she belonged, just like every other member. I really enjoyed Rainbows. My favourite part was the virtual sleepover we did. That was fun, she says. Treat us respectfully and just the same as any of the other girls, because on the inside, we're all the same, really. We asked Jane and Mike what they'd say to any volunteers who were worried about getting it wrong when welcoming trans members. As a parent of a trans child, especially at the beginning when you have so many fears, you worry that your child will be excluded from both genders. Being treated as everyone else, especially in a gendered space, makes the biggest difference, Jane and Mike say. Using wrong pronouns might feel like a terrible thing to happen, but it is important to correct yourself and keep going. If you see them as a girl, then using the right pronouns should happen naturally. Trans girls feel like girls and should be treated as such. As our daughter has said, they are the same on the inside, where it counts. And if other parents ask questions, it's important to remember that transgender members deserve privacy in the same way everyone else does. I hope that reading our story will help other parents see how important it is for transgender girls to access the same spaces as their friends do. They want to learn and play just like everyone else. Life is all about learning and striving to be better, says Jane. All girls will have a chance to be the best versions of themselves if they are given the space to be who they are. So, that is something that was literally posted by Girl Guiding. And yes, everything they said when they announced that they were no longer including trans girls and women said that they were deeply sorry and that they really didn't want to make this change. We sort of understand from the comms we've had as leaders that they felt they've had to make this decision from their legal team because of the Supreme Court ruling. But if you can hear that story and think that trans girls could be excluded, I have nothing else to say to you. Why should we be excluding girls? You might sit there and say, trans women aren't women. Trans women are women. At the end of the day, it's who you are inside that counts. When somebody tells you who they are, it's not, you don't go, but that's not what your DNA says, is it? My husband has a gene. My husband is Asian. His parents were born in India. He has a Caucasian gene. I don't turn around to him and say, "You're not Indian because you've got a Caucasian gene." By this, I mean a mutation that is really prevalent in Caucasian people and very, very rare in India. I don't think that he is any less Indian because of that gene. No more would I think if he turned around to me and said, "Actually, I'm trans and I'm a woman," I would believe him. No more does his genes tell me that his gender than his genes tell me his ethnicity. Like, at the end of the day, believe people when they say who they are. That's all this is. It's believing somebody. If somebody turns around and says, "I really like Stardew Valley," you don't go, "Oh, but do you really?" No, you believe them. Believe people when they tell you who they are, because that's all there is to it. And I really hope that Girl Guiding undo this decision and Girl Guiding become the inclusive organisation they used to be and include girls and young women, all girls and young women. I'm like tearing up reading that story because this girl now, as of September, won't be allowed to be a guide or assuming she was a rainbow in 22, she would be in brownies or even going up to guides now. She won't be allowed to be a guide. She will have been literally excluded. And this is a girl who's known she was a girl as long as she's understood gender concepts. Why do we feel the need to exclude these people in society from women's only spaces, from girls only spaces? It's just not okay. And I get the theoretical risk of harm to women's only spaces, but it's bollocks. We know who attacks women. We know who harms women. And that isn't trans women, it's men at the end of the day. So you can say whatever you like about that, but I will never agree with you. And if you don't agree with me, this channel probably isn't for you. That's all I've got for this video. Here are my leftovers. If you want to see my previous plan with me's, they will all be on the screen now, as well as another video YouTube thinks that you will enjoy. I really hope this has given you something to think about. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!